Greetings, New Zealand naturopath Eric Backer, author of Candida Crusher and formulator of the CanXida dietary supplements. You can find it CanXida, that's with an X.com. I'm going to do another case history, and this is going to be one on chronic vaginal thrush, conditions I've seen for many years with patients. So this is a 43-year-old lady named Sharon. Sharon contacted me almost 2 years ago after seeking help with vaginal thrush, which had been bothering her for over 15 years. She consulted many practitioners over the years and received all kinds of advice. She'd read one of my online articles and was desperate for a solution. One of the first things I ask patients like Sharon is, are you willing to do whatever it takes? Or are you going to leave my room with just the idea of, oh, I'll give it a go, see what happens? And I knew that Sharon had what it takes to get through and obtain the permanent solution that she was looking for. You can see it in someone's eyes when they've been suffering enough and they're sick and tired of all this crappy advice they get from people. So they know there is a solution, but by the time they come and see me, usually they're ready to be truly committed, and you need to sort the silver or the gold from the coal. Lots of people are coal out there, and occasionally you get nuggets of gold. So, you get something really fine. What I mean is, when people have well and truly had enough, they're going to do whatever it takes to get well. And that's what makes the difference between someone who's going to get an average result and someone who's going to commit fully and get a fantastic result. And Sharon was one of these delightful patients, all right? So her thrush was chronic and unremitting, all right? She was getting it every time she had a period. She had 3 to 5 days of severe itch and discharge, and it was just driving her crazy, like I see a lot of people have, all right? So the problem was the recommendations given to her by other healthcare professionals would only work for a few weeks at most, and then the yeast infection would come back with a vengeance. Sharon is a coronary care nurse who works at a large hospital. Her husband is an experienced pilot who is away flying overseas frequently, flying the big jets long haul between Asia and New Zealand. Sharon works several different shifts and frequently works long hours and unusual times, leading to sleep and energy issues. This in turn has resulted in her often skipping at least one meal a day and relying on food from vending machines at the hospital. My concern here was the amount of processed food, including sugar, that Sharon was consuming. By the time she came to my room looking for a permanent solution, she'd been taking fluconazole, or diflucan, for once per week for several years, which apparently was keeping the condition under control. My second concern was that her husband was, when he would come home, they'd engage in intimate relations frequently in a short period of time, which was causing major discomfort and aggravation for her. My third concern was that her diet and lifestyle were faulty and were in dire need of an overhaul if a permanent change in her yeast infection was to be expected. What Sharon and her doctor were blissfully unaware of was that she still had the primary complaint of vaginal thrush, but in addition developed side effects from taking diflucan for a 5-year period on a weekly basis. And these side effects included low-grade nausea, pale-coloured stools, and annoying red skin rashes around the tops of her thighs and upper back. She was prescribed hydrocortisone cream for skin rash and took laxatives for constipation she was getting regularly. Incredible, she'd learned to live with the nausea and accept it as part of life, and was entirely unaware that it was fluconazole side effect. What a miserable life this poor woman had to lead all those years, This case isn't unusual when you think about it. We get people like this quite regularly. The primary complaint has been suppressed by a drug, but then several secondary side effects are produced which are given more drugs. How stupid is that? I mean, we see this all the time, That's like maxing out on a credit card, then take another damn credit cards to pay off the primary credit card. How stupid is that? So how did Sharon fare? What recommendations did I recommend? Our first consultation was for 1.5 hours, and we got a lot of things straight, particularly the point that something had to change if she wanted her, infection to clear up. Now, in my book, I've said time and again, the definition of insanity is doing the same crap over again and expecting a different result. You can't do it. This woman had to make changes, all right? So my recommendations for her were to change her shift work into a day shift to get her lifestyle sorted, get her immune function right, and to make sure her husband was aware of the problem that was caused. So, all those 3 concerns I had to be addressed if we wanted a permanent, result to ensue. This woman was put on CanXida, my antifungal product. We had a fantastic result with her. This woman was put on the recommendations in Chapter 5 of Candida Crusher. She used boric acid for internal treatment, particularly before the period, and we had an incredibly good result with her. It took several months, but we got increasingly good results. I've recently been in touch with Sharon, and guess what? She's got no more vaginal thrush. 15 years of suffering, hundreds of doctors' visits, thousands of dollars of cost, all gone because she was committed to make the change. Are you committed to make the change? If you've got vaginal thrush and you're watching this now, you can nail this condition, but you need to be a person with determination, perseverance, and willing to make these changes. If you can't make the change, keep visiting the doctor, keep spending your money, keep getting the crappy results, keep having a poor intimate life. Don't complain to me if you aren't willing to make those changes. If you're ready to make the change and commit, it will happen for you too. So I hope this has been an enlightening video for you, and I haven't barked at you too much. I don't mean to be like that, but I love getting results with patients. And I know that with good patients, or patients looking for a good doctor, the good doctor is looking for the good patient. When the patient complies, and we get an agreement there that we want to get rid of the condition and we're willing to do what it takes, and we put the right protocol in place, we're going to nail the problem. It's as simple as that. Thanks for tuning into my video.